Hi everybody. Today we're going to talk about a little known and highly valuable tool for your son or daughter if they're in high school, and it is called shadowing. Shadowing can be extremely valuable, not only for helping them figure out what they want to do in high school or in college or a college major, but maybe even their career. Not a lot of people are thinking about this or doing it, and I'm going to explain to you exactly why you might want to do it, what the benefits are, and how to move in that direction by using an anecdote from one of my PrepWell students. Now, I have particular interest in this topic because I've had a varied career interests, and I think if I had this little tip during my high school career, I may have been a little bit more focused and maybe would have stuck with something a little bit longer. Not that I'm regretting the path that I've taken, but I think some kids, they're looking for something, they want to make some decisions a little bit early on, especially for majors or colleges, and this is going to be a great way to go. My name's Phil Black. I run an online mentoring program called PrepWell Academy, where I help high school kids, rising freshmen, sophomore, juniors, and seniors, make smart decisions about high school, about college, about career, and about life. That's why this particular episode is so important. Now, I'm going to harken back to a session that I had with one of my PrepWellers. She's an extremely intelligent, bright young woman. She's going to be a junior in high school. And of course, we went over the obligatory how she's going to study for the SAT. We got through all that stuff. Then I started looking into her background a little bit and asking her about her interests. Well, I noted that she wanted to be a lawyer. She wanted to go to Yale Law School. That was a very extremely important thing for her to do. And I thought that was great. That's a lot of focus early on, which was great. And I talked to her a little bit more in depth and I said, well, why is it that you want to be a lawyer? And she said, oh, I love the adrenaline. I love arguing. I love taking a side. I love having a client. I love being in front of people. I love presenting. I love really digging into science. She was a science person, as well as a great reader and writer. So I was getting very excited about this. And I said, well, do you know the difference between a litigator and a corporate attorney or a corporate lawyer? And she didn't really have any idea. And she's young, of course. So I gave her a little bit of an explanation of what the career paths may be for those two pretty extreme cases. And I told her that, well, a corporate lawyer is probably more often than not going to be in an office building or and have an office and be thinking and working alone quite a bit on analyzing maybe a structure of a company. Maybe they look at subsidiaries of companies overseas and the tax treatment, basically corporate related information. On the other hand, a litigator is going to be somebody like you see on TV. She mentioned she watches a lot of TV shows with lawyers. And I said, that's going to be somebody who's trying a case in front of a jury, in front of a judge, with witnesses and testimony and analyzing and creating and arguing a case for the plaintiff or for the defendant. And that's when she started getting really excited and really fired up. So just that little distinction alone, now she would probably figure that out down the road, but I wanted to just guide her a little bit so that she could take advantage of this summer to dig in a little bit more about what some of these two different jobs would potentially entail. So what I challenged her, and now I'm getting to what shadowing is to find, I challenged her to do 4 shadowing sessions. One was with a judge, one was with a defendant, a public defendant, one was with a prosecutor, and one was with a corporate lawyer. Those 4 roles as somebody who could be an attorney or a lawyer. So how do you do that? Well, you use your network of friends and family, and of course, I as her mentor am going to help her find somebody doing those 4 different positions or 4 different roles. So I know a judge, I can give her that person's name, ask her parents and network of friends, do you know anybody who's a public defendant? Do you know anybody who's a corporate lawyer? Or do you know anybody who's a prosecutor? So find those 4 roles, and you're going to send them an email and say, my uncle, my mentor, my friend, my mom or dad said that you might be a good person. I'm an aspiring lawyer. I'd love to see what it's like to be a corporate lawyer. I'd love to see what it's like to be a litigator. Do you mind if I shadow you for 1 day on your job? I'm not going to talk. I'm just going to show up. I'm going to be well dressed, well groomed. I'm going to have my own little snack bag so you don't have to bother with me. And I'm just going to be on the sidelines, just observing what's happening. You don't have to engage with me. If you want, great. But otherwise, this is going to be low low investment for you, but high return on investment for me. Would you be willing to do that? You give me a bunch of times. I'm on summer break, so I can show up anytime, anywhere. Please let me know. So when you send somebody like an email like that to somebody who knows, who has some connection with you, probably not a blind or a cold email or cold call, but somebody who's a warm lead who probably has some reason to say yes, they're most likely going to say, yes, come on down. How about Tuesday, come on in at 8:30 and you can be with me the whole day. So number one, here are the benefits. Number one, you're going to live what we say a life in the day of a corporate attorney, a life in the day of a prosecutor, a defendant, a judge. So you're going to get, with these 4 visits, your eyes are going to open up to a world that you never even thought of before. You're going to see what they do during the day. Are they sitting and researching? Are they making phone calls? Are they waiting? Are they trying to track down clients? Are they analyzing jury members and their profiles? That is going to be unbelievable experience, number one. Number two, they're going to develop a relationship with those 4 people. Maybe it turns into an internship during the year. Maybe it turns into an unpaid internship next summer. Maybe it turns into a letter of recommendation. You have no idea, but you're building your network of people in those particular career paths. Extremely important. And lastly, you are what I call, and what I told this young lady, I said, guess what? If you want to be an attorney, you need to build a case. And by doing these one-off shadowing sessions, you are building a case for that college admissions officer that you actually are interested in law. By showing them that you're reaching out, you're being resourceful, you're taking initiative, and you're looking around and seeing what the law profession is all about. So you could put in your essay, or you can talk about in your interview, yeah, I did these 4 shadowing sessions with a prosecutor and a defendant and a judge and a corporate attorney, and I realized that I really love X. I really love the litigation because I love getting in front of people and creating an argument and analyzing and presenting and trying to convince a jury. That is unbelievable information for a college admission officer to know, or somebody who's interviewing you to know, because they know that you're not just sitting back saying, I want to be a lawyer because my mom's a lawyer. I want to be a lawyer because lawyers make a lot of money. I want to be a lawyer because it's very prestigious. That is not building a good, solid case. A good, solid case is, I spent the time to investigate what the law field is all about, and guess what? I'm narrowed in on this particular role. That is extremely important. Now, for your son or daughter, you can of course do this for any field. In fact, I have some PrepWellers right now who are doing 8, 10 different shadow sessions that they've committed on their goal list. They've committed to 8 or 10 different shadow sessions with a materials engineer, a architectural engineer, an engineer for seamanship, for boat making, because they don't quite know, a software engineer, they don't quite know what type of engineer they want to be. So they're going to lay some groundwork, and they're going to test out all these different types of engineers. Now, their mom and dad happen to be engineers, so they're going to have a pretty easy time coming up with a network of people to get these one-day shadow sessions. And it should be pretty easy for that person. There's no liability. They don't have to pay you. It's not a big to-do in terms of applications and interviews. It's just a one-off, surgical, quick-hitting, one-day shadow session. Now, if you're interested in this, please join us at PrepWellAcademy.com. Please put in your name and email address, and I'll send you all kinds of information along these lines. As I told you, I've done a lot of things in my life. I've been to Harvard Business School, went to Yale University, played basketball there, and I've been in a lot of different fields, which is why this particular topic is important for me. I was an investment banker for a while. I'm a firefighter now. I've been an entrepreneur for a while, a couple different entrepreneurial bits. I've been on Shark Tank. So I've done a lot of different things, and I love thinking and talking to students about what they might want to do. And I'd like to think back now, man, if I shadowed an entrepreneur, or if I shadowed an investment banker, or I shadowed a firefighter, or I shadowed a Navy SEAL. I was a Navy SEAL for 6 years. How would that have changed my life? Maybe it would have been better, maybe it would have been the same, maybe it would have been worse, who knows? But needless to say, it's a great opportunity that your son or daughter can take advantage of this summer at any time. So if you're watching this video, maybe you're not watching live because it's pretty early in the morning, but if you're watching this video at some point, you can challenge your son or daughter to come up with some shadow sessions. Take advantage of this summer. It's only one day at a time. Please put some comments below whether this was helpful to you, whether your son or daughter is shadowed before. Now, it's kind of like an internship light because it's much easier to get taken care of you using your network of people whom you already know. Now, if you're interested in goal setting for your son or daughter also, I will connect you to a great resource that I've provided for you. If you go to PrepWell Academy /P/goals, PrepWellAcademy.com/P/goals. That's PrepWellAcademy.com/P/goals. And you give me your name and email address and the grade that your son or daughter is going into. I will send you a custom summer goal setting worksheet, a template that they can use to create a summer goal list for the summer. And of course, one of those options is going to be commit to a shadow session or two. I look forward to what this young lady does at the end of the summer when we have our debrief of what happens over the summer to see what she actually likes. She may say, wow, Mr. Black, I don't like law at all. I thought I did. Or what I think she's going to say is, I love the litigation aspect of it. Thank you for listening. I hope this has been helpful. Have a great 4th of July.